and welcome back. Today we're going to see where the second part of New Order takes us. And we jump in pretty much exactly where we left off, with the Goa'uld outraged that the humans prevented them from leaving. And this woman is Amaterasu, and she's both stunning and very scary. And the Earth is about to be destroyed, and yet somehow Elizabeth manages to call the Goa'uld foolish, throwing the book of diplomats at them and imprisoning them. And I haven't watched this episode critically yet, but I feel that right off the bat I'm going to enjoy this. On Urilla, the Asgard homeworld, we learn that the replicators have managed to infect the planet, and the situation is dire. Remember that the Asgard blew up the replicator ship. Well, some of the individual blocks still managed to make it onto the surface of Urilla, and they are building and they're about to take over the entire planet. Back on Earth, it's not going much better, with the Goa'uld about to annihilate the planet. But in an act of Thor and Tilk ex machina, I guess, Earth is saved. The basic logic goes like this, that the replicators are on Urilla. Jack has the ancient knowledge, and the ancient knowledge will probably save, or can probably save, Urilla. And because Thor has a ship that can travel across galaxies in under an hour, they have gone to Earth and they have stopped the crisis we were left with at the end of the previous episode. They have taken care of it, and now they have beamed up Jack and want to take him back to Urilla. And unfortunately, because this is, of course, still an episode of SG-1, in an act that just breaks my heart, moments after I thought I was really going to enjoy this, enjoy Daniel and Elizabeth sparring, Daniel is beamed up to the ship. And the barking you hear in the background is our dog. He thinks he's guarding the house. His name is Martoof, because he's kind of scruffy and cute. And I apologize for any dog barks. This is Thomas, on the other hand. He also doesn't listen to closed doors and staying off. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah. Daniel's beamed up, and then of course Jack is also beamed up into an Asgard pod. And we learn that Sam is still alive, because of course she is. And Frith's torture has changed to torturing her with really bad hair extensions and visions of life on a farm in Montana with Pete, her fiancé. What's actually happening is that Frith is trying to make her fall in love with him, because he most definitely has a crush on her. And she isn't falling for it though. And look at him. I think this actor is really good. He is, I always feel for him, but he's so creepy. Anyway, back on the Daniel Jackson, Thor interfaced Jack's mind with the ship so that they can use the ancient knowledge without killing him. Meanwhile, Elizabeth has to contend with the captive Goa'uld. Your servant wants to go back to his ship and fight and die with honor against Baal. And I would like to point out that your servant never calls you a god. He always refers to him as my lord, and he's very much still loyal to you, even though he knows that his mind is going. He knows you isn't a god. He knows what you is, and he knows you is failing. And I don't know that much about old Japanese culture, but I feel that this is very well done. He is loyal to his master, even when his master is ailing. He respects the situation he is in, and I just think this is a really cool character. Then this brings us to one of my favorite scenes of this episode, where Elizabeth goes to tell Camulus that they are going to let the captives go. And upon receiving this news, he tells her, "This might come as a surprise to you." And she immediately retorts with, Oh, I'm sure nothing can surprise me at this point. And he immediately remarks with, he wants asylum. His fleet has been destroyed, and he wants asylum on Earth. And I mean, just look at those puppy dog eyes. Anyway, Elizabeth's immediate reaction is like, well, it seems I was wrong again. And yeah, I just like her sass. On Thor's ship, Jack is revived, but not before instructing the ship to build a fancy device, which Thor replicated. And Jack and Daniel are back to bantering again, which is fine, I guess. They've been at it for ages. But really, was it too much to ask for at least 2 episodes of Daniel and Elizabeth bantering? I mean, they're not even going to be together in the same scene again this entire episode. Anyway, Elizabeth sends you and Amaterasu back where they came from, obviously offering Camillus asylum. As the Goa'uld leave, Yu's servant thanks her with a small bow and is just adorable. Meanwhile, Thor beams a human form replicator onto his ship, and while Thor, Daniel, and Jack are still debating whether this is a smart idea, Teal'c is gearing up behind them. And while they have the replicator on the ship, Thor manages to find where Sam is. But the human form replicator wakes up, a battle ensues, and during the scuffle, Jack discovers the Medudad he built is a replicator disassembler. Thor says he can create a massive Medudad that can disassemble all the replicators on the planet, and he can beam Jack, Daniel, and Teal'c close to where Frith is holding Sam. And at this point, the episode is pretty much refocused on SG-1, which, I mean, this is an episode of SG-1. And yeah, I suppose the writers did what was needed with the character of Elizabeth. She seems likable, competent, and we, or at least I, would love to see more of her. I'm just still salty that they didn't have her and Daniel going back and forth at it again. Anyway, of course, Frith escapes, and Thor manages to destroy the remaining replicators, and in the end, Sam convinces Frith to let her go, and she and Jack are pretty happy to see one another. Back on Earth, Jack goes to talk to Elizabeth, and she tells him the president asked her to supervise the research at the ancient outpost in Antarctica, and I think just that would have been enough. But then she has to go say that she thinks she would be much better suited to that job than at the SGC, and I feel that's just such a disgrace to her character. Like, she was built up to be actually competent and likable, and now she's claiming that she thinks she wouldn't be very good at running the SGC, which begs the question, why then does she think she will be good at running the Atlantis program? It's such a useless little sentence, and it does so much damage. And I mean, okay, fine, at this point, strictly speaking, I guess no one knew she was going off to Atlantis. We just think she was being written out in favor of O'Neill because, I mean, he's taking over. But it would have been great if she's just excited to see where it goes. She didn't have to, the series, the directors, the writers, anyone, they didn't have to include that sentence like, I would be better at running a small science research station in Antarctica, being diplomatic with other people. Like, she's so, there's a word, I've forgotten it, I know I didn't, it's not undermining, but she's selling herself so short. We know she's going to go out and be diplomatic towards aliens, but no, she's apparently just good enough for humans. Okay, anyway, well, in the next scene, she says goodbye to the SGC and she hands over the reins and a promotion to Jack. And the episode closes with the reveal that Fifth has created his own replicator Sam. And that's it. I think the episode was overall good, although we went through it so quickly. There's not a lot there. Most of it is, again, Jack and Daniel bantering. Although they did get, I suppose, most people invested in the character of Dr. Elizabeth Weir, or at least, I suppose, people like her. Her character did slip a little in favor of Jack right at the end, but okay. I enjoyed the first of the two episodes as an Atlantis episode more, but as two SG1 episodes, they were fine. I feel that in the bigger scheme of Stargate, season 8 of SG1 was a bit boring. I think maybe they thought the series was going to end at the end of the season. However, we are introduced in season 8 to Vala, and I guess my biggest complaint about the final 3 seasons of SG1 is that they didn't make her a permanent member of the series earlier. She is a massively fun character, and I really like her, and because of her, I'm glad Elizabeth left so that Daniel and Vala could take up where he and Elizabeth left off. And they really are a good couple. And yeah, I know there are a lot of people who hate shippers, which is fair, but investment in the romantic lives of the characters as built into the series, as we know with Jack and Sam, in season 4, where they admit they're in love, but they can't do anything about it because they have to work together. So yeah, I totally ship Vala and Daniel. Enough time has passed since Share's death, and yeah, that's it. I'm excited to start with the actual episode 1 of Stargate Atlantis, and subscribe, comment, like, share, all those things. Tell me in the comments whether you like SG1 or Stargate Atlantis more, and yeah, bye. See you next time.